Deathloop movies have become like their own thing now, and they've been gaining a lot of traction lately. I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because we've all been living the same day over and over and over again for like a year. Just spitballing. Just spitballing. There's something to be said for familiarity when it comes to movies. So Boss Level is the newest Deathloop movie to come out, and right up front, I rented this movie digitally, but I will be buying it on Blu-ray and adding it to my collection as soon as I can. Yes, I enjoyed it that much. So if that's all you needed, thanks for joining us. We'll see you in the next one. If you liked the other more recent movies that came out in this sort of new category, stuff like Happy Death Day or Palm Springs, then you're probably going to like Boss Level as well. I have to say probably, because the one thing that does change between each of these movies is their actual genres. While Happy Death Day was a horror movie with lots of comedy in it, and Palm Springs was, I guess if you have to pigeonhole it into one, it was a romantic comedy, that Boss Level is an action movie. So, if you don't like action movies, then sure, you might not enjoy Boss Level, but I'm inclined to think that if you enjoy the whole Deathloop as an idea, then you're gonna enjoy the movie regardless of the genre, because they all have a certain style to them, and that style is very present with Boss Level. The movie stars Frank Grillo, Naomi Watts, and Mel Gibson. Frank Grillo plays the hero and the one that's stuck in the Deathloop. Okay, fine. For the very few uninitiated out there, I will explain what a Deathloop movie is. It's Groundhog Day. The movie starring Bill Murray. If for some reason you haven't seen that incredible comedy, and that doesn't explain it, a Deathloop movie is essentially about one character stuck living the same day over and over and over again. Death resets the day, and they're stuck doing that until they figure out the thing that they have to do to stop it. Okay, with that out of the way, I can say that Boss Level doesn't really do anything new. We do get all of the same sort of montages that come along with a story like this, where the main character is repeatedly learning the other patterns of all of the other characters that are involved and live in that day with him, and pushing ever forward just to live a little bit longer. And of course, like the other movies in this style, there are moments when our main character gets super frustrated with his situation and just gives up and lets a few days pass him by. Days, or attempts, as they are called in this movie. But eventually, of course, he course corrects and starts powering through. What makes all these movies stand out, and why I think they really appeal to me, is that even though they really are just ripping off the Bill Murray classic, it's a formula that allows for tons of creativity, which includes, but is not limited to, the ways in which the main character can die. Frank Grillo was perfect in this role. He has just enough, let's say, swagger and charisma for a character like this, and it's really nice to see him in a leading role. Mel Gibson, on the other hand, absolutely underutilized. Except for one scene where he tells an absolutely terrifying story about a python. Other than that, I think he was just there for his name to help sell the movie, and if it wasn't for that, then I don't know, because he doesn't do much. I really like the fact that this movie starts already with the death loop going on. At the beginning, I think he's on attempt like 148 or something, which was awesome and kind of fresh for a style like this. Usually the way it happens is the first 20 minutes of the movie establishes the day that the main character will be living over and over and over again. We do eventually get a flashback that shows the day, or the day before he falls asleep and the whole thing starts, which when I was watching the movie, I thought it was kind of lame and jarring because it took me out of the excitement of the loop that had very quickly been established. But looking back, it was necessary and something that we needed in order to actually progress the plot of this story. I say plot because it's outlandish. It's crazy. It's a guy that wakes up, is immediately attacked by a whole bunch of assassins and has to figure out ways to kill them before they kill him. That's really basic. There is a little bit more going on, but I'm not going to spoil it because it's a lot of fun. The style and action of this movie is all thanks to the director, Joe Carnahan. I think that's how you say his name. Sorry if it's not. But he's a very stylistic director, and I've enjoyed watching all of his movies since Smokin' Aces. He was also the director of The Grey, which is a very good movie. His style of directing perfectly suits a movie like this, and he also co-wrote the screenplay. And I really believe this is a perfect example of a movie that in anybody else's hands probably would have been crap. And the movie is absolutely drenched in retro video game vibes and inspiration. Obviously, it's called boss level. So that made it even more enjoyable, especially for someone like me. If you're a huge gamer, you're probably going to appreciate what they've done here, if you could tear yourself away from whatever game you're currently playing. And it's used in what I would say is a tasteful way, not that tastefulness really comes to mind when you think about a movie like this, but it does it that way instead of, beating us over the head with it or having it be sponsorship or something weird. Super appreciate that. And while it is a high-octane action movie for the most part, the story also has the decency to slow down at just the right moment and give us some really heartfelt scenes with the main character's son that, I kid you not, almost made me cry. Yeah, I know, but it fits with everything else leading up to that point. One thing I will knock it for is its ending. It just sort of ends. And while you never want a movie like this to overstay its welcome, in this specific case, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more resolution. The movie established a really cool world, some characters I actually did care about, which is crazy because a movie like this, I never really thought I would, so a little bit more resolution would have been greatly appreciated. That's still not enough to keep it off my buy it list, though. If you don't like over-the-top violence or things that are awesome, then steer clear. Otherwise, check out Boss Level as soon as you can. I highly recommend it. If you have seen it, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and let me know if there's any other Deathloop movie hidden gems that I just don't know about. I would really appreciate it, and I will talk to you all in the next one. Deathloop movies have become like their own thing now, and they've been gaining a lot of traction lately. I wonder why that is.